What you're going to find is that Entry is an easy product to use, but it is different than de-icers you may have used in the past. But you're going to be able to use it in every storm situation that you would have typically used a de-icer, with two exceptions. We always say that products are like people. We all have strengths and weaknesses, and Entry is no exception. So one of Entry's weaknesses is that it's not particularly good at melting through thick layers of snow or ice. The problem is that it's going to run off before it has a chance to melt through. So granular-based de-icers are going to be able to get in on top of the ice and kind of work their way through. Now, it may take some time, but they can bore through. Entry is going to tend to run off before it has a chance to melt through. So if you end up with a situation where you get 5 inches of snow and a bunch of feet trample it down and then you shovel it, now you got an inch of ice, you're going to want to use a granular-based de-icer that's going to bore through versus a product like Entry that's going to run off before it has a chance to melt. So if you're wondering, okay, well, where's that line? I guess the best way I could put it is by using cardboard as a reference. So one thickness of cardboard, Entry is going to smoke it compared to other things they've used in the past. You get to 2 thicknesses, you'd say, wow, that was really fast, but definitely slower than if it was 1 thickness. Once you get to about 3 thicknesses of cardboard, we'd really recommend that you be using a granular de-icer because it's just going to be more effective at melting through and boring its way down, whereas Entry is going to run off. You get to 4 thicknesses, and by that point, you really should be using a granular de-icer. The second scenario where we don't recommend using Entry is what we call a warm snow event. So it looks like snow but feels like rain. It's really a wet, soupy mess. Often happens during the day. The reality is we probably don't need any de-icer, but if you're going to use a de-icer, you want to use a granular-based de-icer. The challenge with Entry is because it's a liquid and that type of warm snow is already very wet, we're applying a liquid onto a liquid and you will not see that hot water effect that you would see if you're using Entry when temperatures are below freezing. So a granular-based product isn't going to dilute as quickly, still not going to be particularly effective on that wet snow. Again, we're above freezing, maybe we don't need to use anything, but if you're going to use something, use a granular-based de-icer. If you have that warm type of snow, one of our concerns is, okay, it's above freezing during the day, and then it stops snowing, and then we drop below freezing overnight. A great way to use Entry is to clear that warm snow, that slushy mess, off the sidewalks. What you're left with then is a wet surface. Go ahead and spray Entry on that residual wet surface, help lower the refreeze point, eliminate the tracking, eliminate the issues caused by the chloride salts. That is definitely a great way to use Entry, even in that type of warm snow event. So that's all I have for you today. If there's any questions, please be in touch. Thank you.